Welcome back to the dojo. Welcome back to the daily discussion. Today, right, I was just doing some thinking, like always. And I'm like, yo, it don't matter what part of life you in, right? There's always something to stress about. I was talking to a good friend of mine, right? And I was like, man, it seemed like you doing good, man. It seemed like you living a life. He like, it seemed like it. I'm behind on all my shit, man. I'm behind. I'm like, damn, I ain't even think about that. So just because it looked like somebody's life may be better than yours, it's probably not, bro. It's probably just as fucked up as yours is. So when we go through life, even though it looks like everybody else is doing better than us, they really not, bro. Maybe in some ways, but not in all ways. Some people don't even have God in their life, man. Can you imagine what that's like? I can't, because I need God in my life. He the one that keep the peace in my life. Without God, my life is just in pure chaos. Nothing feels right. Up is down, down is up, left is right, and right is left. Everything is all switched up. When I don't have God, I feel confused. I don't feel confident. That's just, in my mental state. In my physical life, right? Everything's usually fine. I usually don't have no issues or no problems. But it's my mental and my heart that's always stressing. There's always something to stress about. After you're done paying the bills, they come back next month, don't they? Yes, indeed. That bill come every single month. And every month you gotta be on it. It don't even gotta be about bills. There's always something to stress about. It don't matter how old you get, how wise you get, how much money you get. There's always gonna be something to stress about. You don't think I'm telling the truth? When you get money, you're gonna stress about money even more because you're gonna be stressing to keep it. You ain't gonna be worried so much about making money, it's gonna be keeping the money you already got. Everybody gonna have their hand out because you look like the big man. They be like, hey, shit, you think I can hold a little something? Man. Don't matter where you go, no matter what you do, it's always gonna be something to stress about. That's just the way of the world, man. We gotta come to the fact that we gonna be living lives full of pain. You're gonna have some happiness. You're gonna have some good days. But our lives are filled with pain, bro. Our lives are filled with pain. How do you void out that pain? How do you cancel out that pain? You stop focusing on it. You start focusing on life as is. You start focusing on life as is. And if no matter how much you focus on the good parts, the bad parts still permeate through, that means we got some work to do. That means something we gotta take care of, something we gotta fix, something we gotta make right. Because that's the only time when you stress. When you're not stressed, man, you stress free. You free from burdens. You free from problems. And what I find out, that don't really last long. Nah, it don't really last long at all. As soon as you solve one problem, another one rears its ugly head. It's like trying to cut the head off a Hydra. If you ever seen the Disney movie Hercules, he cut that snake's neck off, then two heads grow in the place of the one you chopped off. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, man. Overcoming one problem, and then you got another one in the very next round. It's like round one, fight. You win. Now you gotta do round two, maybe 3, 4, and 5. How many rounds is it gonna take to overcome your problems? Shit, I might need 1,000 rounds. 1,000 rounds? Yeah, that's a hell of a fight. That's a hell of a fight. Shit, when I think about it, every single day is a fight. Every day you waking up, there's been a problem that you overcame, whether you realize it or not. Sometimes just by living, we overcome our problems. One thing I know about problems is they don't last forever. They don't. You come to a point where the problem it still exists, but it ain't as much as a bother as it used to because you've gotten used to it, or you've adapted to it, or you got to work around. You know what I mean? That's just life, man. Trying to overcome and escape problems. That's what it seemed like the theme of life is. How many problems and issues can you overcome? How many? How many? The last thing we want to do is give up. Because that's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like it. You be urging to do. It's like, man, I'm so tired of dealing with this. Man, if I could just get a year without having no problems, I wonder what it would be like. Some of the problems that we deal with are self-inflicted. Sometimes we bring these problems upon ourselves. But even still, even if you didn't bring no problems upon yourself, like I said before, there's always something to stress about. You got kids, you got a mortgage, you got children, you got a car note. You know what I mean? You miss enough payments of that car note, they're gonna repossess your shit. And then what? Then what? Now you gotta figure out how to get to work on a skateboard or a bike. I can't imagine how rough that is. And I remember the other day, I seen somebody getting evicted. I talked about it in another video. Be grateful. I think it was be grateful when I mentioned that. But yo, seeing them people get evicted out their house, bro, it did something to me. It made me realize that this shit is not a game, bro. You can be thrown out of your house, bro. Your house. Well, it's not really yours if you can be thrown out of it, but even still, right? Even if you own the land, the property even if you own the house that the property is on, you still gotta pay property tax. You know what I mean? It may not be that much, but it's still something that you gotta kick out. The world just makes problems for you. You don't have any problems, don't worry about it. The world's gonna make a couple of them just for you. Just for you. Moving into a new house, you gotta make sure ain't no damage in the place. You gotta overlook that thing like a motherfucker. You gotta comb through that house with a magnifying glass. Cause after you move in, you're gonna see all types of shit that you ain't realized was there before. Because you was just looking at the totality of the house instead of all the little pieces and parts. Problems can arise anywhere, bro. You buy a car, and the car might have issues, and you don't really know until you really get down the road and start driving it, start putting some miles on that thing. Then you see what the issues are, and you're like, God damn, I wish I would have bought a different car. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's always something to stress about. You know? You might be in a relationship. You might be married even. And that's gonna have its own problems. I can't really speak on marriage problems because I'm not married. and I've never been married. But I'm sure other people who are married, y'all can tell me that there's been some problems. There's been some things you stressed about. You may even be stressing about this person wanting to take you out for a life insurance policy or something like that. I was talking to a friend of mine and he mentioned that. I said, damn, that's a real issue right there. Somebody want to take you out for the life insurance policy, trying to get a payday. It happens. That would be a nightmare to realize, but there are people who didn't make it because somebody wanted them gone for money. Even for money, man. Even for money. Your money. Or money that you've accrued or invested in for a rainy day or for something crazy. Man. Some of us got so many problems that we don't even know what to do with ourselves. I pray for anybody going through it right now, man. I pray for any and everybody going through it right now because life is nothing but problems right now, especially if you're an adult. It don't look like it's no way out, man. It don't look like it's no way out. And I'm not really talking about my problems. I mean, I'm relatively okay for right now, but I'm just looking at life. And I know that there's a lot of other people that's looking at life and they seeing what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the bullshit. I'm living it right alongside of y'all, man. And I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying, make it through the best way that I can. Sometimes I feel like I'm not going to make it. And it's because of all the things that I'm stressing about. That's really it. Even though things are okay and things are good, I'm still stressing about things. Stress, it's always going to be on your ass. It's always going to be on you. No matter which way, shape, or form you want to cut this thing, you're always going to have some stress on your back. Because there's always something to stress about. I don't know why it's like this. I didn't make the rules. I didn't create the game. But this is the life we living in, man. This is the life we living in. And I think it's best to just get used to it instead of trying to run from it. Don't run from your problems. Run to them bitches and solve them right where they stand. Like, all right, this is an issue. I know what to do to correct this. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. And once I'm done with this, you're next. That's how you got to be, man. That's really how you got to be with this shit. You can't play no games with life because life ain't playing no games with you. But with that being said, I pretty much said what needed to be said. Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei bid you adieu. I hope you're waking up every day with a plan, a purpose, and a smile. And if you're not waking up with a plan, a purpose, and a smile, hey, at least you're waking up. Till next time, y'all. Class dismissed.